The Megalodon is considered extinct for well over 1 million years. Or is it? We've managed to find some of the most convincing evidence of the existence of this giant shark in the ocean's water. And with only 5% of the ocean's floor unexplored, who knows what the other 95% could hide from us. So here at the top 10 reasons the Megalodon shark could still exist. So let's dive right into this mysterious depths of the ocean, shall we? Number 10, Megalodon carcass on Google Earth. Man, those Google Maps satellites has managed to catch some pretty bizarre photos over the years. Could this be one of the craziest so far? Maybe. The first example of a photo that we came across on Google Maps that shows a shadow of a creature of unparalleled size. That is, until the Megalodon went extinct. So how big was this monster? Big enough to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Oh goodness, but no, there are actually measurements of the beast. Now, according to the estimates of some people, this shadow is approximately 70 feet long. The Megalodon was considered to be somewhere between 50 and 60 feet from nose to fin. So this mysterious creature's shadow seems to fit those parameters perfectly, and have about 10 feet to spare. So, what do you think? Did Google Images give out the location of the largest shark known to man? Number 9, the largest female shark ever recorded. Did old Big Tooth leave some offspring behind? This is actually the largest known shark in existence. Its name is Deep Blue, and she's the gentlest female great white the divers can ever come across. For God's sake, these people were diving right by her, and one of them even touched her fin. From what we've heard, people run away from great whites, right? Anyway, how big was this apex predator? Well, according to marine biologists in Hawaii, Deep Blue is 22 feet in length, while the average female shark is between 15 and 16 feet in length. You should know that since its discovery, some people have stated that this shark was likened to Megalodon, and they think that this is one of the smaller versions of the old and somewhat forgotten Megalodon. Plus, now that we knew how big the great white can grow, then how big do you think the ancient fish could have gotten? Number 8, 62-foot long Megalodon shark. If you're still not convinced, here are some marine biologists who don't believe Megalodon could exist, saying that it could happen. So, how did they get the footage? Well, there are numerous cameras all over the seafloor and everyone can watch the live stream from them. The usual things people see are some fish, crabs, and the occasional sea snail. But never this. They caught the underbelly of one of the largest sharks ever recorded on camera. During some calculations based on the footage, scientists could estimate this creature to measuring 62 feet in length. And if you remember what we said a few seconds ago, that's how big Meggie actually was. So even the biggest skeptics look for empirical and credible evidence can't dispute this claim. And if for a lack of trying, but the evidence in this video shows even the biggest skeptics can't do anything to deny the footage. Number 7, whale tail bite. This father and son from Hawaii decided to go on a fishing trip in the morning. They took out their gear and the son started rolling the cameras. Now, this was back in January of 2009, when the father told his son to point the camera to the shore and film something bizarre, to say the least. When people analyzed the image from up close, they could actually see that it was an actual whale that had its tail bitten off and its guts were spread across the beach. In the documentary, the scientists say that there are only a few creatures known to man that attack fish and bite off their tail. They say that the great white shark is one of them. However, they say that none of them can deliver a bite this big. The only creature capable of doing this is the great Megalodon. So maybe there is something more to this story than meets the eye. Number 6, Cape Town Megalodon. Now, here's a photo that's been taken during the Second World War in Cape Town, South Africa. The date was December 18th, 1942. The two vessels on the photo are Nazi U-ships, and there is something rather peculiar at the top right corner of the photo. And no, we're not talking about the swastikas there. There is a giant fin and the tail of what appears to be a giant shark. However, the size from the fin to the tail is a jaw-dropping 64 feet. That would have been that the creature was around 100 feet in length. That's even bigger than Megalodon itself. And there's no Photoshop back in 1942. Heck, the computers back then were as big as a football court. This photo was even used in one of Discovery Channel's documentaries about the existence of Megalodon. Is that credible enough for you? Number 5, the Black Demon of Cortez. Many fishermen have stated saying the Black Demon of Cortez that's much larger than any shark known to man. See, the size is estimated to be the range of 20 and 60 feet, and it weighs approximately 25 to 50 tons. Now, some could say that this is just a great white, but listen to what the fishermen said about it. They said that this is one of the giant fish that looked like a shark and took the lives of many fishermen in the past. The people describe it of having black skin, which you don't see in sharks. And since we don't have any information about the pigmentation of the Megalodon, it's believed that this giant shark found off the coast of Mexico is either a descendant from Megalodon or the actual giant shark from the times of yore. Number 4, the 10,000-year-old Megalodon tooth. Back in 1891, 2 marine biologists got their hands on some fossilized remains of Megalodon teeth. So the first thing they wanted to do was estimate how old these teeth actually were. The method they used to determine the age of the teeth was the amount of manganese dioxide that had accumulated on the surface of the tooth. Now, the first tooth had a maximum coating of 1.7 millimeters, while the second one had exactly 3.64 millimeters. And there, the amount of manganese dioxide that could actually accumulate on the surface of any fossils is only 0.15 millimeters every 1,000 years. Knowing that, he could do some simple math and deduce that the first tooth was only 11,000 years old, and the second one was about 24,000 years old. The reason this is crazy is because the Megalodon went extinct millions of years ago. The evidence that these scientists showed is groundbreaking. This means the giant shark didn't go extinct when we thought it did. Number 3, Brazilian Coast Guard Megalodon sighting. On the 20th of November 2012, the Brazilian Coast Guard managed to catch some pretty terrifying video footage while at sea. While the people were too busy talking to each other, they missed something of extreme importance. Luckily, the security cameras managed to catch it. We're talking about the giant shark that passed right next to the boat. You could clearly see the fins and the tail in the video. So according to the size estimates made by scientists, it's confirmed that this is the most credible evidence of the existence of Megalodon. It's so good, it managed to get featured on the Discovery Channel. This one video managed to sway even the biggest skeptics who say the Megalodon doesn't exist anymore. Number 2, shark washed on Australian shore. Now, here is yet another video in which you can clearly see the carcass of a giant shark that washed on shore of one of Australia's beaches. The monster was huge compared to the people on the beach, who were all taking photos of it, by the way. You would too, if you saw such a giant monstrosity being splashed by the waves, and even though it was dead, you could clearly see how hesitant the people were to approach it. Now, we don't know if this was actually a Megalodon shark, but whales don't look like that. And this creature is way too big to be just another great white. Number 1, the Mariana Trench deep sea creature. If none of the above managed to convince you, this one surely will. And just a little word of caution, don't watch this video at night. It was captured in the Mariana Trench, which reaches a depth of 6.85 miles. This footage was captured at a depth of approximately 1 mile with equipment from a Japanese marine biology study. Now, this video footage made major headlines across the world, stating about the terrifying appearance of this 60-foot mysterious creature. It was on camera for about 50 seconds, and we got to see it from all sides, even up close. There was everything: the fins, the tail, the head, and even the gills. It was that close to the camera, and it wasn't a shark. Sharks don't have black skin. And on that note, we end this video. But hey, do you know any other evidence that's released to the existence of Megalodon? You could tell us in the comments section below. And if you like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.